Is the Your Golf Tour and the Internet Invitational competition? Are they direct competitors of each other? And today I want to talk about it. Will we see Grant and Horvat and the Bryan Bros back in the Internet Invitational? And will we see Bob Does Sports involved with the Your Golf Tour? I've got a theory and I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below on everything that we're going to talk about in today's video. Anyway, we got a good one cooked up for you today on the Scratch Golf Show. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Marco and I'm your host. If you're new here to the Scratch Golf Show, we talk all things golf, YouTube, and sometimes pro. We break the biggest news in YouTube golf. We interview the top creators in the YouTube golf space. And sometimes, like today's video, I report the news to you guys and hear your thoughts in the comments below and share my opinions on it. So make sure you leave it. Anyway, before we get into the video, I need a couple favors from you guys. Like the video, trying to hit 500 likes in this video, and hit the subscribe button, please. I'm trying to hit 25K in 2026. It's a lofty goal, but I can only do it with your help. YouTube tells me like 85% of you guys aren't subscribed, so hit the button. It's free. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the Internet Invitational and the UR Golf Tour. Okay, so a couple weeks ago when the Bryan Bros, Brad Dahlke, and Grant Horvat did the podcast for the Your Golf Tour, they revealed a lot of the information. And also in that video and podcast, they asked for your guys' thoughts and feedback in the comments below. And these guys are very good about listening to feedback. I know for a fact the Bryan Bros read thousands of comments, probably way more than people realize, especially when it comes to this. Their baby, the Your Golf Tour, they're going to want to take this seriously, and they want to hear your guys' thoughts and feedback to improve the product. Obviously, they added the wildcard feature in to bring more people into the Your Golf Tour. Sounds like there's going to be open qualifying, but one of the main things that was talked about in the comment section was get Bob Does Sports involved in the Your Golf Tour, get them to commentate. There's also another comment in that video that got a few likes. It said, some guy named the Scratch Golf Show left it and said, if you guys need a commentator, interviewer, whatever there on the channel, I got some likes. So, but anyway, back to the Bob Does Sports stuff. So that was an extremely liked comment. I don't know if I don't want to say controversy, but it begged the question of, is Bob Does Sports going to be involved in the Your Golf Tour? Obviously, the guy that would make the most sense would be FP, right? He's the guy we've seen the most play. He's the best golfer in Bob Does Sports. FP Slim or SP Slim Perez nowadays, but he obviously wasn't on the initial list of the Your Golf Tour. And this stuff is planned way in advance. Like I read George's newsletter today saying they planned some of the major cuts a year in advance. So they obviously know who's going to be involved. And yeah, it would be great for them to comment. And maybe they will. Maybe Bob Does Sports will be involved in the Your Golf Tour. But the main question is the Internet Invitational in the Your Golf Tour competition? Obviously, everyone, not all, a lot of people are starting creator tours because creator golf is huge. There's an opportunity to capitalize on the market that's still growing, still young. And George actually addressed it in a newsletter a couple weeks ago. And in that newsletter, he said, he read the comment basically saying, yes, we saw Bob Does Sports to commentate the matches. We would love that. But basically, we'll see on that because George said, I understand if Bob Does Sports, Barstool, Field, Internet Invitational, and you look at Your Golf Tour as a competitor and want to protect what they built at the Internet Invitational. Everyone knows, basically after the Internet Invitational, everyone wanted to do something in the Creator Golf League scene, whatever tournament, because of the success of the Internet Invitational. But that presents the question. Bob Does Sports, obviously very good friends with the Bryan Bros. Bob Does Sports signed with Tacomo, and Tacomo is involved in the Your Golf Tour. If you guys didn't see some of the stories that have leaked out, they have like actual signage for the Your Golf Tour, and Tacomo is a sponsor. It looks like presenting, which we're not surprised. Grant Horvat, Bryan Bros owners, there's other Tacomo creators, all the New Zealand boys, and other people playing in the Your Golf Tour, obviously Tacomo ambassadors. So it would also make sense if Bob Does Sports was involved, right? With Tacomo, Bryan Bros, Your Golf Tour, it all would kind of seem to connect if they're commentating. But the Bryan Bros kind of didn't like. The Bryan Bros could have just not addressed it at all and basically just said like, hey, and just let the people speculate. But the fact that George actually went on and addressed it and just kind of said like, hey, we don't really know what's going on, I felt like they could have let people speculate, but they really addressed it. And I would guess that the Bryan Bros and Grant may not be playing in the Internet Invitational this year. I'm just strictly guessing. Maybe they are, but even like after the fact, I think George and Grant, I don't want to say George and Grant, George specifically, and I think Wesley too, like Internet Invitational was great, and I think it had a lot of good ideas, but a lot of it was drama, right? A lot of it was for, clicks, and that's Barstool, right? Barstool and Bryan Bros and Grant are two completely different platforms, and their audience is very different. And I think George, I don't want to say spoke out on it, but just kind of said like, we love the Internet Invitational, but a lot of the drama stuff, just not for the Bryan Bros. Like they like to just make really good content and just, make good content with Grant. And that's what they're doing right now. So putting the pieces together, maybe this thing with the Your Golf Tour and the Internet Invitational is a thing. Like Portnoy, it would make sense if just like, you guys are starting something that's a direct competitor. We don't want you guys plugging the Your Golf Tour and then your invitational videos, vice versa. That's how business works. Like it's not personal. Everyone's still friends. Foreplay and Bryan Bros did a collab a couple months ago with Kiz. I personally would love to see George, Wesley, Grant back in the Internet Invitational, or even see FP playing on the Your Golf Tour. But at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. And that's just my theory. Like I said, guys, I'm just predicting it. I'm reporting a little bit of the news about George addressing it, and no one's really talked about it in the space yet. And I wanted to make a video today and want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Once again, like and subscribe too while we're plugging everything. But what do you guys think about this situation? Am I wrong here? Am I right? Do you agree with my assessment? I think it's a very interesting question as YouTube golf is continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow. Good signing new people. All the leaders in the space are trying to stay ahead of the competition, right? It's a very competitive space. More and more people are popping up every day, new channels, more pro golfers are getting into it, new editors. Like YouTube golf is still growing and still very young. But as these guys at the top are at the top for a reason, they want to stay at the top. So them protecting their own endeavors would make complete and total sense. All I know is that I'm excited for both. The Your Golf Tour, I'm guessing, is going to be dropping sometime in June ish. It sounds like based on what George had kind of talked about. Internet Invitational, I think it would be a very similar time frame. I'm guessing it's going to be filmed sometime in the summer. I think August is when it was filmed last year, and I'm guessing it will be presented in October, November timeframe at the end of the year, similar to what we saw this year. Internet Invitational, very tightly sealed lips, no leaks from what I've heard. I think I know where it's going to be. It could be at the same place, but I actually think it could be at French Lick Golf Resort. I'm not sure. Just guessing there because you got to think when the Internet Invitational, um, hotels, there's a lot of people close to airports or ways for people to get there. French Lick isn't super close, but you can fly into different airports. There's stuff around there. There's hotels. There's food. Two golf courses that have done stuff in the YouTube golf space. They can pay them enough to basically shut down the course for 2 days and film all the stuff for the Internet Invitational. It would make sense for them to go back to Big Cedar, but I think they're going to want to change it up a bit. New golf courses, new hotel, new scenery, etc. And I think the Internet Invitational may be at the French Lick Golf Resort. Don't quote me on that. Just guessing, like a lot of the stuff in this video. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Very much appreciate it. You guys sticking around. Love to be back in the saddle. And we've got some cool interviews coming up. So, like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to 25K. See you in the next one. Peace. Okay, so Internet Invitational invites are officially out. There are some new faces, new names that are going to be there, and I don't think any of them should be a surprise. We've seen a bevy of story posts today for people posting their Internet Invitational invites. Sadly, you do not see mine. You guys must have lost my address. DM me on Instagram, and I'll get it to you so you guys can send it to the right appropriate place. Get the Scratch Golf Show at the Internet Invitational campaign, regardless. Anyway, Evan Thompson, Short Game King, Haley Ray Olstrom, a few of the new names who are going to be there. And like the thing is with Internet Invitational, a lot of these. Oh, and by the way, the purse up to $4 million. Can we talk about that before we get into the invites? Let's talk about the bumped up purse. I've seen a lot of tweets going around today that the internet, like the nerves from these guys, like imagine Frankie having a chip on the 18th hole to win it again. And these guys had white knuckles over $1 million. Can you imagine? Now, I'm curious to see some of the other names that we're going to get. Maybe we see some more invites go out. As we know, Dave Portnoy wanted to get the gambling, wanted to get the people turning on each other, the barstool type of way. More money means more opportunities to get people turning on each other. I would love to get some gamblers in there. I know Daniel Negreanu, gambler, poker player, wanted to get in. He's kind of been making a splash in the YouTube golf scene, doing videos with Jake Adams, who Jake and Daniel Negreanu are both future Scratch Golf Show interview guests, by the way, just to leak a couple names. But get someone like Daniel Negreanu in there who gambles for a living. He's not going to turn down $250,000 or whatever that opportunity is. But yeah, so the price or the purse is bumped up $4 million and more names are coming out. Now, I don't know. The thing is that a lot of the names are going to be the same. Now, that's where kind of this in theme of this video goes. Is George, Wes, Grant going to be playing? You would assume so, But I guess we'll see now with the Your Golf Tour official to see, the Your Golf Tour was filmed like what 3 weeks ago now, so these invites are going out now. You got to imagine these guys kind of probably got a phone call before they got the Internet Invitational invite. So who knows? Maybe we'll see if it's going to affect anything. If the Your Golf Tour is going to affect these guys' Internet Invitational status, I don't know. All we know is that more names, new names, and like I said, I think it's going to be filmed around the same time frame. Be on the lookout for French Lake Golf Resort is my prediction of where that's going to be in August. Like I said, Dave, Bob, Riggs, Frankie. I think there would be this right here would be a perfect spot for an Internet Invitational invite. So I'll send you guys my address. Like I said, must have got lost in the mail. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.